Good Monday morning. I am Michelle Yandel. Now, you've probably heard me talk a lot lately about cookies and cake and food freedom, and this is so important. And I've written about it extensively, and I talk about it a lot. And some of you may think that I've gone completely cuckoo because I'm a nutrition coach, and you're probably thinking, what's with all the cookie talk? But anyway, for most of us, these treats and these delicious things with lots of sugar and fats and all kinds of yummy things, they're not generally something that we eat 3 meals a day. So we're not necessarily having a plate of cookies for breakfast and cake for lunch and ice cream for dinner. These are some of the time foods, and it's really important that we make peace with them. But what I want to talk about today is our most of the time foods. So we have foods that we really need to function at our best. Okay? It doesn't mean we need to eat them exclusively, but we do need to have them in our diets. And these are the foods that give us energy, they make us feel good, they can help with our mental health and all sorts of things. So what I want to focus is making our most of the time matter and finding a way of eating that works for you, because my most of the time may be very different from your most of the time, and that's okay. We need to find a way that energizes us individually. Okay, so the key to finding what makes you feel good, or I should say the key is to find what makes us feel good. So how do we know when we're feeling good and when we're healthy? Is that, well, you're able to do the things that you love. You have the energy to play with your children. You have the energy to do the creative projects or the mental capacity to do your job properly, whatever it may be. So it's a way of eating that allows you to do all of those things, okay? And for many of us, that's going to start with simply having a most of the time, a base of mostly natural foods, okay? It's not rocket science. We all know that we need to get some veggies into our lives. We need to get some fruit into our lives. Whole grains are good for us. Starchy vegetables, maybe some probiotic foods, yogurts, and some protein, some meat, some beans, tofu, whatever you want, healthy fats. This is the basics. We don't need to jump to some crazy diet if you're not doing that first. And when I say doing that, I'm not, again, meaning all of the time, but most of the time, okay? And cooking from home is so important. We need to start making an effort to try to cook more. And naturally, by doing so, we are going to be eating more natural foods most of the time, okay? So enjoy your some of the time foods, because it's what we do most of the time that matters. So make your most of the time matters. Get those vitamins and minerals and macro and micronutrients that our body needs to feel great and do the things we love, and most importantly, do the best you can for you in your lifestyle and your budget and your family. Just do the best you can most of the time. Experiment. We're all different, okay? Some people feel better if their most of the time is lower carb. Some people feel better if their most of the time is higher carb. Some people feel better with meat. Some people feel better without meat. Stop telling each other what to do and just start with the basics and start to experiment. And that's why it's so important to start to listen to our bodies and find out what works for us, internal sources of information, as opposed to that external noise out there. There's lots of noise. That's why in my Empowered Eating course, we talk about the most of the time. We get through all the BS stuff out there and just get back to basics. It's really important that we nourish our bodies in ways that make us feel physically good while making time for those foods that make us feel mentally good. So stop worrying about what you do some of the time and focus on how you can get more of the good stuff, the foods with the nutrients. I shouldn't say good stuff. That's not a good choice of words. But focus on how you can nourish yourself most of the time. Make peace with the soul foods. And basically just do the best you can because you're worth it, right? All right, so I hope that made sense. But I will talk to you again very soon.